Welcome, and thank you for taking the time to listen to our presentation. Our presentation is on an extremely popular strategy for paying off a home loan much faster, called debt recycling. This is our disclaimer. The information in this presentation is general in nature. For advice which takes into account your personal situation, please contact your milestone financial planner. So, who does a debt recycling strategy suit? Debt recycling is a strategy for the accelerated repayment of a home loan. For this reason, the first criteria for a suitable candidate is someone who has a home loan. The second criteria is someone who wants to pay off their home loan sooner. I think this would apply to most people who are paying a mortgage. The third criteria is that you would like to pay less tax. Again, I think this applies to most. And the fourth criteria is that they want to create wealth. Often we meet people, often couples with a young family, or have had to borrow a high debt in order to afford the family home, who face a constant financial dilemma. Is the best financial strategy, with their limited surplus cash flow, to pay down debt as quickly as possible to invest for the future? Often a decision is made to pay down debt now, with the hope of being able to make up lost investment ground later. With debt recycling, as we shall see, there is no dilemma. It is possible to achieve both through promoting tax efficiency. In order to understand how debt recycling works, there are three key concepts that need to be understood. The first key concept is the concept of compounding, often referred to as compound growth. The idea is quite simple. It means the returns of an investment strategy become increasingly powerful each year. For instance, if I invested $100 today with a compound growth rate of 10% per year, in the first year I would receive $10 in return. In the second year, however, I would now have $110 invested, and so my 10% return would provide an additional $11. In the third year, the return would now be $12.10 and $13.30 in the fourth. This snowballing effect of interest being paid on interest is an immensely powerful mechanism of wealth creation understood by the truly wealthy. It means that small changes now can have amazing impacts over time, and is a very good reason not to leave wealth creation until the home loan has been paid off. The second core concept we need to understand is negative gearing and good debt versus bad debt. Under Australian law, the interest incurred on money borrowed to invest in an income-producing asset can be claimed as a tax deduction. This means it is significantly more efficient to borrow money to invest in an income-producing asset such as an investment property, shares or managed funds than it is to borrow money to buy a house or car. In the diagram, we compare the debt used to buy your residential home with an investment loan. The debt used to buy the home was useful at the time, as you wouldn't have been able to get into the house otherwise, but now is costing you money and providing no further benefit. You want rid of it fast. We call this the bad debt. On the other side of the line, we can see the investment debt. It has enabled us to buy an investment asset which is continuing to prove an income plus capital growth as well as the ongoing tax savings. It is continuing to work for us. We call this good debt. The third core concept is the comfort level. When people considering the debt recycling strategy come to us, they have a level of debt existing already. For some, this is the maximum amount of debt they are comfortable with, and so this will be the comfort level of the strategy. We do not need to be additional funds above that level. For others, when they see how the debt recycling strategy works, they are comfortable accelerating the strategy by raising their comfort level above their initial borrowings. I will use an example of a couple who have a $500,000 house with a $380,000 home loan. Their comfort level is $400,000 or 80% of the value of the house. To look at the diagram with this example, the couple in question now have a home loan with $380,000 of bad debt, a separate loan facility secured against the house of $20,000 of good debt, which in turn has been used in an investment portfolio for $20,000. Now that we have the three components of good debt, bad debt, and investment portfolio set up, the strategy comes into play. As we pay down the home loan in the usual way over time, this gradually reduces the balance, which saves interest over the longer term. We receive the tax savings from the investment portfolio and the investment income. The portfolio grows over time. We use the tax savings and investment income to pay down the bad debt. The good debt is paid interest only to maximise the surplus income to pay down the bad debt. Now the strategy can continue until all of the bad debt has been recycled. At the end of the process, the couple will have paid down the bad debt to zero, but the good debt will be worth the $400,000 of their comfort level. Their debt has been exactly $400,000 throughout the whole process. However, due to the tax and compounding benefits, they now have an investment portfolio worth $400,000 plus capital growth, which is generating passive income. In many cases, this can reduce a 30-year mortgage term by half and result in significant capital growth above the amount of the dual good debt. We will look at some calculated examples shortly. And so, as we have seen, debt recycling can fulfill many objectives, including the provision of passive, perhaps retirement income, reduce the interest costs of the home loan, save tax, create wealth, and promote cash flow management, all to enable you to live the lifestyle you want. Debt recycling, a new way to become debt-free. Next, I will show you some calculated examples using our debt recycling modelling software.